Welcome to Read Feed, my little corner of the internet where I discuss a book that I have just read. And today's book is 30 Lessons for Loving by Karl Pillemer, PhD. 30 Lessons for Loving shows the way to fulfilling relationships that last a lifetime, seeking wisdom from the wide variety of couples who have been together for decades. Pillemer? Sorry I'm messing up your name, but it's a great book. Asked for advice on all the big questions as well as many of the smaller ones, including these. How do you know if the person you love is the right one? What are the secrets for improving communication and reducing conflict? What gets you through the major stresses of marriage? We also learn about communicating in the most constructive ways during conflict, even those who don't like to talk, keeping the spark alive over the years, and learning to accept your partner as he or she is. And we hear wonderful, very personal stories that are sometimes moving, sometimes funny, and always spot on their advice. And I am a newly married girl, and I picked this up when I was engaged because I saw it and I was like, I have to read this. I want to be better for my guy. So chapter titles are Evening the Odds, Lessons for Finding a Mate. Communication is key. Getting through the hard parts. Keeping the spark alive. And thinking like an expert about love and marriage. So his introduction begins like this. Love and marriage in contemporary society creates a world of questions. How do I know if the person I love is the right one for me? How can my partner and I communicate more effectively? How should we deal with conflicts that inevitably arise? What will get us through the predictable stresses of marriage, such as child rearing, work problems, money issues, and in-laws? How do we keep our marriage vibrant and interesting? And the most fundamental question of all, how can two very different individuals come together and create a relationship that lasts a lifetime? I think it's really great that he pulled people who've been there. So you're not just getting psychologist advice. You're getting real life, hard-earned and learned lessons, which is great. I suggest anyone who is in a relationship or even before you jump into a relationship to grab this book because it is a great read. It helps you get a wonderful perspective. When there are important issues in the relationship, decisions must be made. Disappointments or dissatisfaction that is festering. You simply must be able to talk rationally, constructively, and freely about important issues, or the marriage is not likely to be happy or even to last. So, communication. There is no way to last happily for 3 or more decades unless you can both be or become talkers. You have to communicate. Nobody is a mind reader. To make sure that we dealt with issues as soon as possible and ironed things out, I quoted this on the page, it's wonderful. Keep yapping at each other constantly. Ongoing dialogue. So, no one knows what's going on in your head, and if you've got something bubbling there, get it out. Have a constant talk with your person. That's your person you have to be most open with, because then you'll know how to read each other and how to be, and it's all good. Have him tell you what's on his mind, and can you work it out? Is there something that you have done or not done? This is just good communications, just in relationships. Always talk to one another. It is very important because you lose sight of your marriage if you don't talk. You have to check in with your person. Of course, you want to talk to them anyway, but you really want to check in and have those heart-to-heart conversations. Can you maintain a mutually interesting conversation throughout the course of a 2-hour meal? Yes. Keep talking to one another always. You need to communicate. You need to be on the same level, and you have to be there for each other at all times. If there's something you really need me to know, please tell me. This is for anybody. Precisely that atmosphere of trust and comfort that causes us to drop the array of social lubricants we use to smooth difficult interactions in every other context: politeness, tact, consideration, a pleasant tone of voice, and watching our words. Usually marriage gets the short end of the stick because you finally get home after work and you're exhausted and you need your time of peace after work, and so you have to know how to deal with that. So just watch what you say and do. Think about communicating in courteous ways. This is your person. You want to be around your person for a long time. Make it nice. It's really important that you respect each other. To be sensitive, it's about having good manners and being polite. In being tactful and using good manners, it avoids anger and hurt feelings, which is super good. Main lesson for a happy marriage: the importance of simply being nice. Jim, if you're watching this, I know exactly what quote just ran through your head. That is important in all of your relationships, but particularly the person you share the most with. Use simple good manners is what I wrote in the margin, and manners equal respect. Okay, this is a really good one. Come up with a code word or a phrase that means, I can't talk about this anymore, but I will be willing to do so later on. Kind of like a zoom out moment is what he calls it. And that's a good one. Sometimes you need a safety word and you need to collect your own thoughts. What your partner wants, this is under the thing, avoid the temptation to fix things. What your partner wants most, according to the elders, is to be heard and helped to come to his or her own solution. Okay, so you just have to listen to your person and see what they need. Listening and learning, all good things. Honesty makes you comfortable with not being together 24 hours a day. You need time away to just, it's fine. Be open and honest and have confidence in your partner. You've got to be honest with them. You can't hide anything. I have so many stuff highlighted, guys. If we had something that we disagreed on, we would sit down. He'd write why, and I'd write why. And then we'd exchange letters. He'd read mine, and I would read his. This, I think, is a wonderful idea, especially if you have moments where you're like, hey, I need to process this, give me some time, that you can actually like start a notebook and be like, I need to express this, but I can't express this vocally for the emotions are bubbling up. So it's easier sometimes to just write it down and then have the other person, exchange the letters. And this is golden. The writing needs to be thoughtful and reflective, taking enough time to avoid miscommunication. Yes. Make your home a haven from the stress of work. That peaceful bit. The experts talking. The experts are talking Star Trek deflector shields through which your work life can't pass. Talk, work, brainstorm, not backlash. Don't come home and explode. Leave work at work. The solution is to carve out a calm and peaceful space at home. The effort to accommodate your partner's family is one of the greatest gifts you can offer marriage. By staying on good terms with his or her relatives, you are honoring and promoting your relationship in one of the best ways possible. Yay! Okay, a little clarification there. It can't just be one person holding down a job and the other person taking care of the family. It needs to be cooperative. And there's the way to do it. Whatever needs to be done, the person who can do it best is the one who should do it. Simple. Ooh, I have something written in the margin here. But at the end of the day, there's a great sense that this is the best hug I could have and the most wonderful kiss there is. And let's have some fun. And you want to go play golf, and we have so much opportunity that to not treat it as a gift is really a shame. Marriage is a wonderful trip if you can find a great friend to have it with. There's so many things more in this book I want to share, but I want to keep this read feed relatively short. Honestly, guys, please pick up this book. It is a wonderful read, and it's just, it might make you feel like, hey, you know what? I think I might ask my grandparents if they're still around, about maybe how they started off in their marriage. In fact, if you could like record that, because of technology being so easy to use, that would be something that you could always pass down as like a wedding gift throughout the generations, like adding more clips of like, this is how we started out and this is how this person started out, and that'd be pretty cool. Anyway, 30 lessons for loving. Karl, thank you so much for writing this. It was a great confirmation of what I knew and brought new light to things that I didn't know, which is super good. So thank you, Karl. And thank you for tuning into this read feed.